Welcome back to another video. This one is going to be slightly different. For people that don't know, I have been struggling with my shoulder. So I'm going to delve into a little bit of that and also answer a few questions because I've been overwhelmed with the amount of people that have been asking how I am, how's the recovery going, how I'm feeling. It just makes all this worth it that people care that much. So thank you very much for all the messages. It really helps me, especially in a time like now. No one likes to be injured, but it is part of it. It's not why we do it, but it's a very possibility that at some stage you are going to get injured. That's kind of what makes it fun, not the injury, but the risk, I guess. Nobody like us enjoys knitting because it's really safe, I guess. But anyway, the reason I'm making the video is just to clear things up, to bring all you guys up to date as much as I can, because I'll start off now. I don't know when I can ride. I'm hoping April, May, when the weather gets a bit warmer. But the truth is I don't know. So the operation I've had is very intrusive, more than I thought, actually. Usually when you break some in a few months, that's it, job done. But having the ball chopped off and replaced with a bit of metal is quite a bit different. And also the meaty bits, I didn't even think about them. So I've actually had 4 surgeries on this shoulder. So each time they've had to cut the meaty bits, the tendons and pec, it's all got to reattach. And there's a lot of scar tissue there. So it is taking slightly longer. But as you can see, I haven't got my sling on and I have quite good movement already. I have what I had before the surgery already, which is great. And like it does go a lot higher, but under my own steam, it doesn't quite get there yet. It's just really weak because, well, it wasn't attached. So let me go back to the original injury. 2005, I just started riding bikes. It was probably within the first year of me riding a bike. So I was 17 at the time. Had never broke a bone until this point, not even a little finger or anything. So racing motocross, somebody hit me in the air, just a normal racing incident. It happens, but I landed really awkwardly, which what happened next is bad, but what happened after that was worse. So I landed on my elbow, the shock went up, oof. So it actually exploded the ball into into 10 pieces. So I'll put a little x-ray up here so you can kind of see the mess it was in. And then you can kind of wince at this next part. So the paramedic / on-call St. John's cowboy, he tried to put it back in. He thought it was just dislocated, even though I'd actually broken my arm down here as well. Not just this, I'd broken my arm as well. And he's wanging it round, trying to get it back in. So you left it for a bit, and then he does it again. I'm 17 years old. I'm not ashamed to say I was crying my eyes out with pain because, no, we won't go down there, but it hurt a lot. But knowing now what it was like, just thinking about all these bits being minced around while he's trying to pop it back in, it didn't work out great for me. So off to hospital I went, then they x-rayed it, the one I just showed you. And then obviously they can see, wow, we don't know what to do with it. So I was in hospital for, I think, 3 days, emails, calls, no one wanted to touch it because it was that bad. So I ended up in Gabowen, Robert Jones and Agnes Hunt Hospital, I believe it's called, where a very skilled surgeon put it back together. I think it took him 5.5 hours. I lost 4 or 5 pints of blood. It was a big operation, but he did manage to do it. So I'll put up here now somewhere what he did. It's 10 pins and a plate. And he kind of said it was like trying to balance a ping pong ball on a broomstick, which I've not done it, but I imagine it's pretty dang hard. So fast forward 6-7 months of excruciating pain, physio, rehab. I'm doing everything as much as I can because I want to get back on the bike. It's the bug that bit me very hard. But after a year or so, I wasn't making any progress, still in agony. So what they found out then was the bone was dying because what the guy did, just minced it around so nothing was fitting and there was no blood flow and it was dying, going, well, it's like blackish color on the x-ray. But anyway, so then he decided to take it all out. So the 10 pins and plates come out, and then they took bone marrow from my hip with a teaspoon or something. I don't quite know. So anyway, then he took all that out, all the bits out, glued them back together with a paintbrush, I assume, with my bone marrow, which that hurt a lot as well. And then put this big old hip thing. It was not meant for a shoulder. It's meant for something else. But so that went up and in through. I'll put that up here somewhere. I've been so out of touch with editing, filming, so you'll have to bear with me here. So anyway, puts that in. And then again, probably a year later, after pain, rehab, I was actually well enough to ride a bike, or I could ride a bike. So up until last year or the year before, I've been riding around this injury that is excruciating. Like, I only found out the other day the reason I go through left boots. Every time I change my boots, my left one's destroyed. My right one's kind of okay. But what it is, my right hand is a lot more dominant. So I'm leaning on that and counteracting by leaning on my left foot peg. That's why it's crazy to think how the body adapts to stuff. Obviously, I can ride. That was great. So I was just dealing with it, riding how I could, as best as I could. But in the end, the pain was so much. So then, like I say, a couple of years ago, we took all this metalwork out so they can get a good x-ray and have a bit of a plan to think what we're going to do next. And then we decided to go for a half shoulder replacement because the ball was quite good. The cup was quite good, but the ball, the arthritis in it, that's what was giving me the pain. Had aggressive arthritis in it. So it was just bone on bone, just giving it that. And also there was no gap. So basically it was nearly fused itself. I think I had like 5 or 6% movement like this. And all the other movement when I'm riding comes from my shoulder blades. And then obviously that's only limited, and the pain on top. And if you've been following like my last few videos, I've been moaning like hell about it. But I couldn't do anything about it. I'm angry about it because I feel like I don't deserve it, but I kind of do because I did crash. So, but in the end, we went for the shoulder replacement. So yeah, to think about it, at one stage my arm wasn't attached because the tendons had been cut. All it was the skin holding it on, which is brutal. I'll put a little video of like the scar and stuff after. But anyway, this is what I've got now, and I hope you'll agree this looks amazing. The staples and the ball in there, it's pretty nuts. So fast forward a few days after, I get this overwhelming feeling of like emotions that I just figured out I'm not in that familiar pain that I've been in for, I don't know how many years, like 18 odd years or something. That excruciating pain, I wasn't in it. I was in a hell of a lot of pain, but it felt totally different. Not the one I'm familiar with and the one that's been kicking my ass for all these years. So it was definitely the right decision. But the emotional side of it was, why have I not done this sooner? I've been struggling and just saying I'm fine, and you know why I didn't do it sooner. So again, the question, how long? Don't know. I will see the surgeon after 12 weeks, which will be another 4 weeks or something like that, another month, until I can ask him the crucial question, when can I ride again? He's fully aware that I will be riding again. He actually put on the x-ray, it's got a little foot and that goes in the middle of the bone. He put that on for safe measure. He's like, we don't do that usually, but I know you're going to be attacking it quite hard. He actually said, maybe don't quote me or him on this, but he did say it. I'll be disappointed if you don't wear this out, which is good. It means I can live my full life and carry on and hopefully just be pain-free. The movement will never come back to what it's used to, but I'm fine with that. I can ride. That's all I want. But But yeah, so I'll have to have another one at some stage. Again, there's no time schedule. It depends what I do, how it reacts. Yeah, so unfortunately, there's no definitive news. There's no definitive news on when I'm going to come back riding, but I will be back riding. And also, there's a little question for everyone that's watched to now: what bike should I get? So I'm going to be working with Moreland Beta this year. They are a great company. They ride. They're amazing people. But do I get a two-stroke because it's lighter, or do I stick with the four-stroke, slightly heavier feeling? I don't think there's much weight in it, but it does feel heavier. But it's smoother. All this, and the two-stroke does feel lighter, but it's violent. I'm so excited to get back on the bike. It's been one of the longest injuries I've had, but it's going to be worth it all. And again, thank you all for the support and messages asking. It means a lot, like you said at the beginning. This injury, it is what it is, but it's darkish times. And to hear from you guys that are still watching the videos as well, amazing. As always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon.